Hi everyone, welcome back to the VSO Gun Channel. It is excellent to have you here today. And today we're talking about one of the sillier guns in my collection, the Henry Axe. And by silly, I don't mean that in a bad way. What I'm actually referring to is the legalese that goes behind the classification of this gun. This is neither a pistol, nor a shotgun, nor a short-barreled shotgun. This is classified as a firearm because basically it is neither defined completely by the NFA or the GCA. Gun Control Act. And because of that, it holds a classification of firearm, which means that this is a transferable gun without the federal tax stamp or anything like that. And it is essentially a short-barreled 410 shotgun. Yes, this thing is chambered in 410, and it is an absolute blast to shoot. And basically what I'm planning to do with this thing is I'm going to convert it to a short-barreled rifle. I've already submitted the paperwork and we're waiting on it. We're going to deck this thing out, change it up a little bit. It's going to be pretty fun to play with when it's all said and done. I've gone ahead and I've done it as an individual because I wanted to do a video on the E-Form 1's process, because that's a little faster than submitting a paper form one. And there were lots of questions that came up in my mind on how to do an E-Form 1, and several of the other people that I've talked to who had never submitted one. So we're gonna go ahead and do a expose on how that happens and the relevant questions associated with it. In the meantime, I thought we would do an overview of this gun and its base form before we start tearing into it, because, you know, it's summertime and we don't all have a whole lot of time to sit around and watch YouTube videos. It has this little dog leg thing on the back of it, and it's actually quite comfortable to shoot. There's very little recoil because it is a 410 shotgun, and it's not all that heavy to the point where you can't operate it with one hand. Now, you will need to obviously grip it with the second hand to work the lever. It does have the large loop on it, so that it is a little bit easier to actuate when putting the next cartridge in. It is a 5+1 gun, so the tube holds 5, and obviously put one in. It has the side loading gate on it, so that you can feed those shells that way if you want. However, it does also have the tube feed on the front if you want to mass load, say for the beginning of the day, you're getting ready to I don't know, go out into the garden or something like that, and you got gloves on, it's cold in the garden. That doesn't work. Sorry, guys. You can mass load at the front at the beginning of the day if you want to. Say you're using it to, I don't know, shoot rabbits or something like that. You can drop 5 shells in the front of it instead of having to feed them with gloves through the loading gate right there. It is hammer fired, so you guys can see right there that the action comes back, hits the hammer, pushes it to the rear, and then the hammer locks into position, and it is heavily serrated on there. It's quite aggressively serrated. If you push down on it, it does actually hurt your finger a little bit, which is great. We do have some wood furniture up in front. Hopefully we're going to be able to change that out. Sling points on the front ring here and on the back of the dog leg there, so if you wanted to sling that thing up, it would be possible. Sights. As you guys can see there's a big old brass bead there on the front. Flat top receiver on the back, but it is drilled and tapped for an accessory rail, so if you guys want to put, say, a red dot or something like that, you do have the capacity. I'm not going to confirm or deny whether we're going to be doing that in relative short order or not. The barrel length is just under 16 inches, overall length just over 26, meets that classification as we talked about before, but it is threaded there for your standard 410 chokes there on the end. This one comes with the full choke in it, so what we're going to do before we get rained on is we're going to pull out some cardboard and see if we can pattern this guy just to see what it's doing at various ranges. 7 yards from the cardboard, let's see how breech loading goes. Works fine. Headshot. All right, relatively respectable. Ate a chunk out of the A there and then peppered the rest of the face. 10 yards. Go for the B. Actually, I was expecting it to open up a lot more. 7, 10. This time back at 15 yards, and this time we're actually going to go for the D instead of the C, because I want to see if I can keep the the pellet pattern separate. Here we go. Let's go take a look. So I'll be honest, I might have pulled that one a little bit, but regardless, we can see that like we don't have any pellets all the way down here anyway. And basically there's a decent pattern in this area, and here's what the wad's doing. So that would definitely hurt. We're going to continue to pattern this gun, only this time we're going to use the steel. And what this is going to tell us is what kind of energy it looks like that we're getting on the target. I'm going to start at 15, and we'll just walk it up to 10 and then 7. Didn't look like a whole lot. So this is the target I was aiming at for the 15 yard, and you can see that I patterned it a little bit high. Like, I definitely shot a little bit high, but you can see that on targets on either side we have some impacts. And that's one of the reasons that for the 10 yard I shot this guy. So the difference 5 yards makes, boys and girls. And then this is the one that I shot at 7. Well, you might be saying, well, Kurt, it's a shorty barrel. 410 shotgun's already pretty anemic. What are we losing? And, well, what I'm going to say is I've got a chronograph here, and we're going to find out. These Aguila loads are supposed to do 1275. So we're just going to shoot them on the chronograph, see what we get. Well, guys and gals, I'm no mathematician. I will run the numbers on this side of the screen for you, but it didn't seem to me like we lost a whole lot out of the projected 1275. So I'd say this gun is just as good as any other 410 shotgun, even though it's not a shotgun. Oh, come on, you guys knew that that was coming at some point in this video, right? Well, guys and gals, that was our brief synopsis of the Henry axe. There will be another video coming out on this particular piece after we've decked it out with all of the NFA bells and whistles and things like that. I just wanted to do a quick one and give an overview of the capabilities of the axe as it comes, so that the video on the NFA'd axe, the short-barreled axe, short-barreled shotgun axe, the converted, that's the word I'm looking for. The converted axe is not a 40-minute video. Thank you guys for joining us here today on the VSO Gun Channel. If you have any questions about the axe or anything else that you guys would like to see here on the channel, post them in the comment section down below, and hopefully I did a good enough job where we'll see you guys back here for another video at the VSO Gun Channel. There on the front is a big wasp. Big wasp. It's hanging out right on my microphone. Do I shoot him? I don't think I shoot him. Shooting him would probably be bad that close to my microphone with a shotgun. Probably not a good idea.